All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about taking one of these powerful, general-purpose AIs and really making it yours. Teaching it new skills, giving it a unique personality, or loading it up with specialized knowledge. But for most of us, there's always been this huge wall standing in the way.
If you've ever felt that way, you are definitely not alone. That dream of customizing your own large language model, it often just slams into a wall of technical jargon and the need for hardware that feels like it belongs in a supercomputer lab. It's a super common frustration, right? But what if that wall is finally starting to crumble?
So let's talk a little more about that wall. It's really built out of two main things: memory and time. Trying to fine-tune an LLM, especially on your own computer, has pretty much always been a losing battle against these limited resources. And this is the reality for so many developers. You kick off a training run, you hear your computer's fans spin up like a jet engine, and then, boom, crash, out of memory. Or even if it doesn't crash, the process is just so painfully slow that it becomes totally impractical. And these aren't just little annoyances, they are absolute project killers. As you can see here, the hardware you need can be seriously intense. I mean, even for the most common method, called PEFT, or Parameter Efficient Fine-Tuning, you still need a pretty beefy amount of VRAM. But if you want to get into the really cool stuff, the more advanced techniques like full fine-tuning or reinforcement learning to build truly custom AI agents, well, the VRAM requirements just skyrocket into a whole other stratosphere. It's territory that's just completely out of reach for most people. So, how do we get through that wall? Well, this is where a new open source framework called Unsloth comes into the picture. And let me tell you, it is a genuine game changer. The cool thing about Unsloth is it's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's basically supercharging it. It plugs right into the tools that tons of developers already know and love, like the Hugging Face Transformers library, but it has a laser focus on optimization. Its goal is really simple: make fine-tuning something that's accessible to everyone. And the results? They are just staggering. Okay, first up, speed. Training times are just slashed, making the whole process anywhere from 2 to 5 times faster. What used to take you hours can now be done in a fraction of that time. Then you've got the memory. This is incredible. Unsloth cuts down VRAM usage by a whopping 70 to 90%. All of a sudden, fine-tuning these really powerful models on a regular consumer-grade GPU isn't some far-off dream. It's something you can actually do. And here's the absolute kicker, the most crucial point. You get all of these massive performance boosts without sacrificing a single thing. Unsloth manages all this optimization with zero, and I mean zero, loss in the model's accuracy. You get all the speed and all the efficiency with absolutely no compromises. So, how in the world does it pull off this magic? Well, it's not actually magic. It's just some incredibly clever engineering happening under the hood. Let's break it down a bit. At its core, Unsloth is just a master of efficiency. It takes the standard code that you'd use for AI training and rewrites it into a highly optimized language that your GPU can process much faster. It also cleverly streamlines the learning process itself. You can kind of think of it like finding the most efficient possible route for a delivery driver. This lets it use your computer's memory way more effectively, which is really the key to getting that faster, more efficient training. And this analogy just nails it. It really illustrates the whole concept perfectly. You're not buying a new car. You're taking the car you already have, and you're dropping in a Formula One engine. Everything still works the same, but now it's just incredibly fast and powerful. So what does all this new power actually unlock for you? Because this new efficiency isn't just about doing the same old things faster. No, this is about unlocking entirely new capabilities that, until now, were pretty much reserved for those with access to massive data centers. Let's talk about what you can actually do now. So the most common approach is that perimeter efficient fine-tuning, or PEFT, we mentioned. It's incredibly powerful for personalizing an AI. You can use it to teach a model about your company's internal documents, for example, or to get it to adopt a specific writing style like your own. But with Unsloth's efficiency, the real frontier opens up: reinforcement learning. And this is where things get really exciting, because you're not just giving the model examples anymore. You're giving it feedback, rewards and penalties to teach it complex reasoning and how to behave like an autonomous agent. The big problem has always been that reinforcement learning is historically very resource intensive. And that's where this thing called GRPO comes in.
It's a breakthrough method that dramatically simplifies the whole process. It basically gets rid of these extra models that used to be required, which makes it vastly more memory efficient. I absolutely love this quote from the Unsloth team. It just totally demystifies reinforcement learning. The idea is that if you can just create a system to tell the model if an answer is good or bad, you can just let it try over and over again. Eventually, just by chance, it's going to stumble on a good answer. Reinforcement learning is just the process of teaching the model to find that good answer much, much faster. And this is what that efficiency looks like in the real world. I mean, just look at this chart. To train a Llama 3.1 model on a really complex, long context reasoning task using the standard methods, you would need over 500 gigabytes of VRAM. That's insane. With Unsloth and GRPO, that number plummets to just 54 gigabytes. That is a 90% reduction that literally makes the impossible possible.
So, what does all of this mean for you? Well, it means that the power to create these sophisticated, really customized AI models is no longer locked away in some distant cloud. It's right there on your own hardware.
Just think about that for a second. You can take a base model like Llama or Mistral and, using reinforcement learning, train it to become a specialized reasoning engine for things like math or coding or any other area where you can define what a correct answer looks like. And you can do it all on your own machine.
And the best part? Unsloth makes the entire workflow so simple. You fine-tune your model with just a few lines of code, then you can export it to a common format like GGUF with a single command. Unsloth even automatically creates the necessary model file for you, so you can immediately load up and run your brand new custom AI right on your machine using popular tools like Ollama or LM Studio. It's a completely seamless path from your idea to a working AI. So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? With all these barriers just torn down, with the power to fine-tune and even use advanced reinforcement learning right on your own computer, what's the first problem you're going to solve? What's the first custom AI you're going to build? The possibilities are now completely wide open.